Hi there, this is a quick analysis of the walk cycle just to give you a little bit more additional information when you create your walk cycle. This is a pretty good attempt for your first semester in animation. I'm going to show you what somebody turned in. Basic mechanics are there. Now we got to look at a few things that are going a little, that can be improved. And I'm going to move this over, if my computer will let me. I'll just make it a little wider there. And we're going to notice that the feet are sliding. So it's moving from right to left. If I look at my Cartesian plane, that means it's the Z translate because it's moving. It's not rotating and it's not scaling. It's moving. So if I pick one of these, I'll pick this one. And I isolate the translate Z, view frame all, and I look, ooh, there's a wiggle, there's a wiggle. Let me see if my step wiggles where it wiggles, and that's around 18 to 19. Okay, so I'm expecting it to firmly plant down. Plant, boom. It shouldn't move. Oop, it goes forward, and it went forward over that little dip there. See that? Now where did it plant down? Right about here, right? Okay, so let me see if this keyframe matches this keyframe. So I'm going to go look at this. I'm going to look at this number, 100.19. Let's make this one 100.19. What I did is I kept it in the same place. Then I'm going to delete this keyframe. And I notice there's a little blip going on here too, so that may also need to be corrected. But what I'm going to do here, I noticed there was some editing, so I'm going to kill that editing, and I'm going to use this step tangents to make it flat. See that? Now when I play it, it should go plant down. Well, look at that. It's planted down. There you go. So let's try this again. Let's see. Does it happen anywhere else? Happens there is a step, so that step is pretty good, but it does move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see where it plants down here. Look at that value. It's 19.194, and I want that value to be consistent until it lifts off again. It's flat here, so let's put it here. I'm going to put 19.194. Take a guess if that works. I'm going to remove the ones in between. I'm going to make it flat. Okay. And let's see what that does. Does that push along? Wow, it stays flat. Okay. Good. Good, good. Now there's a little bit of stuff that would need to be edited on that toe, you know, to make things right, but we won't get into that far. The first thing I just want to make sure of is that foot stays planted all the way. And this has some interesting editing. Don't know why. Maybe it was to keep down with the toe, which is a great idea, so I'm not going to change that. That's a nice firm plant right there. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other foot. And keep in mind, there's something new to learn every single time you do a walk cycle. I'm always going to give you feedback on another piece of the puzzle. I'm going to pick the biggest thing for you to keep an eye on first, and then as you do this more and more often, you're going to learn more and more things. That's the nature of learning any language, and technology is another language for you. So I'm going to look at my Translate Z again here, and I see there's some unusual things in the curve here. So I'm going to look at what's happening there to cause that. And I'm going to go here, and my highlighted one is my step. So takes a step, ooh, and it kind of jumps there. And I really don't want that to jump. I want it to hit the ground and plant, right? So, oh, and it keeps moving. So let's see why. I want it to plant there and stay planted till it looks like there, based on the choice of the artist. So that means I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to go stepped, but to do stepped, I'm going to want to do with the trick I did last time, 61.131. Let's see if that works here. What was it? 61.131. I'm going to change that value to 61.131. Okay, so it should be flat there. So now, boom, it has a little quirkiness as it sits down, but that's okay. Kind of, okay, but it stays flat, which is good. Okay, so now let's play it and see how things are a little different. I'm going to play blast. I'm going to do, oh, maybe I'll do a little bit smaller scale. And I'm going to output a movie file. I want the format to be AVR QuickTime. They just make it hard on you. I use MPEG 4 video. That's how I do my settings. And I do play blast. What it'll do, it'll play it a little bit for you. And as it makes this file, I also notice that, you know, I might want to change the toes a wee bit, but otherwise all the poses are pretty good. She hit the 4 poses, or the 8 poses required for a walk cycle. That's pretty much what I wanted you to achieve this project. I wanted you to see the relationship between the physics of always being in balance and how the arms swing with the opposite foot and how the body goes up and down a little bit. Everything else, the perfection. Sometimes you get it really quick. Sometimes it takes you some practice. It took me a while to even learn how to do this because my instructors didn't know how to animate on the computer when I did my master's at USC. Oh, drat. So, for some reason, it's not working there. Whenever I do play blast on here, I get the queasies from my computers. So I'm going to try again. If you get those mechanics, fine. What we practice next semester is fluidity in the animation to make the walk poses nicer, to make the walk poses female versus male, a heavy person versus light person, small person versus very tall person. So if you feel intimidated because yours doesn't look like Pixar right now, don't worry about it. You're putting far too high of a goal in front of you. I just want you to understand the technique and theory right now. You're just learning this. You've got time ahead of you to perfect and grow. So we've got a walk going across there. What I want you to notice in this walk cycle is that the feet don't slide anymore. There we go. And then if I make this a little bit bigger, there. That's pretty decent for a first shot. Now I see a little something going on in the arms, and I just want to investigate that real quick. Well, I can see from the curves a little over editing was done. You kind of never want this kind of a shape, really. So I'm just going to look. And that's okay. Don't worry if you did that mistake. It's not a big deal. Oh, and I'm freezing, gosh darn it. So I'm going to stop my recording. Whoops. Oh, there we go. We got it back. Okay, not going to stop yet. I'm going to just look at your arms real quick to see if perhaps you switched arms at some point. Arm 1. Okay, there's a little wiggle. Watch this arm over here. I'm seeing a little wiggle in the front. It's going forward. A little wiggle that shouldn't be there. It should still swing forward. But otherwise, the arms are working good. So if I wanted to get real picky, I'd also fix a little bit on the arms. But I'm not too worried about it at this point of your understanding. That's something we'll work on next semester. But, you know, I might take down some of these overshoots. See that? When they're round like that, you don't get the option to move them that much. Ooh, it always just overshoots. So what I do is I break the tangent, I free the tangent weight, and make sure I have these little squares here. And then I can go in and little mouse button pull it back in to when I have that overshoot. And if I have that on the curve anyhow, well, I just delete that so that I have less wiggle going on, and I pull that out a little bit if I need to. A couple of these things are straight, which I think I want a little more fluidity in my arms. So I'm on the rotate X. I'm going to add a little fluidity on the rotate X by making them clamp tangents. And I wouldn't work with these straight tangents unless you're trying to clamp the feet to the floor, as I demonstrated earlier. Let's see if that makes any difference in this. Let's see if I can play it at all. There you go. It's a lot smoother. It's got a little double bounce at one point, but that's okay. We'll see. We'll investigate that at another time. But not much needed to edit on there. You just needed to clamp down the feet and allow some fluidity in the rotation on the arms. Okay? Please let me know when you have questions or problems so I can make you a video, and feel free to visit me Tuesdays and Thursday nights this week, or Angela during the week. I'm going to try to stop this.